Hello everybody, welcome back to another video. I'm hoping you guys are all having a fantastic day. So today's upload, as you can tell, we'll be talking yet again about a renewed threat of winter storms. And if you're watching this and you're just seeing another notification from my channel about another threat of storms, it's as simple as it sounds. We are looking at a new series of storms coming our way. They look to be bigger than the ones we saw. And if you didn't get affected by any storms this past couple of days, then you're probably wondering, okay, so they didn't occur in the first place. Well, no, they did, and if you were to look at the snowfall map, you could see that we did get quite a bit of snow, really where expected. Minnesota seeing 4 or 5 inches of snow. There's a little bit less, if you will, across these locations than expected, maybe a tad bit less. But you can see 1 to 4 inches generally. Across the west, there were some more generous amounts. But really where the storm overperformed was parts of the northeast. You could see we got 9, 8, 9 inches. Even getting into portions of Boston, southern New Hampshire, getting into 0.2, around that 1 inch mark. So, again, just because it didn't get kind of that snow in your location, it did come true, and it's still ongoing across Ontario, this little storm system. And before we get into this further, if you guys would like to, if you like what you're seeing and you like this channel, subscribing would be absolutely amazing. That would support it a lot. And if you are a returning viewer, liking the videos, equally as amazing. So thank you so much for that. Let's start off by looking at the European model and see what these potential storms are going to bring. So very, very active time of the year right now. And even for this time of the year, it's still more active than usual. So it goes to show you how powerful some of these pattern changes could be, bringing so many storms together. Look at this. The European model cranks out that northeast system pretty strongly across portions of Quebec and into southeastern Canada. So definitely a few locations seeing some heavy snow, mainly though a rain and wind event. Notice the system that brought snow across the plains, Minnesota, North Dakota, and into the UP is now moving into Ontario, central Ontario. You may be seeing some snow depending on where you live. This isn't the biggest storm, but it is pretty tight, and where it does occur, the snow will fall pretty heavily. And that spreads out, kind of drags a cold front. Really, these next few days are going to be the days with no major weather going on. And by the way, in terms of additional snowfall from that little guy across Ontario, you could see some locations seeing almost 6-7 inches. So definitely something to think about. This was at noon, this model run, so most of the snow that fell across the northeast, I'm assuming, already did fall. Let's go back to the precipitation type and rate. Again, as I mentioned, this start of the week and late weekend looks pretty calm. We do see some snow showers, a bit of wet weather across the southern Ohio Valley into the Ozarks. And the biggest deal will be just the really cold conditions. I mean, usually Iowa, central Iowa, southern Wisconsin doesn't just see snow showers floating around mid-October. And if they do, then it doesn't happen too often. Usually it's marginal 40 degrees, 50 degrees, but in this case, a lot of these locations will be in the 30s. And notice we do see the rain pull away, but we see a new increased threat. While this peacetime is occurring, there will be quite a bit of scattered showers and rain showers and snow showers across the west, but they don't really do much until they move off into the plains. And this is where the European model at this point in time is indicating a very unique system. Not a strong low pressure anywhere nearby. What we see though is a lot of lift, and what that does is it just explodes this very heavy snow band of snow, hence the snow band name. Alright, and this snow could fall pretty heavily if this were to occur. This will probably still change exact track and intensity. The rain, or the snow, transitions into rain as this pushes to the north, and it kind of weakens, if you will. But it definitely does have a lot of precipitation, and it could still produce quite a bit of snow shower activity and rain shower activity, just disturbed weather across the northeastern United States and into southeastern Canada. And as we take a look at this further, by the way, let's just see how much snow could fall from that little burst of snow. Twin Cities possibly seeing, 4 to 5, 6 inches out of this, which would be definitely an early snowfall. Not unheard of, but definitely early. Northern Minnesota possibly seeing a little bit more. a good location. I mean, a good area. Just seeing a widespread kind of 1 to 2 event, and then a few pockets of almost half a foot plus. You could see north of Lake Superior, also quite a bit. Moving into the EUP and getting very, very close to Green Bay. We will have to see how this all shifts. If you recall, yesterday with the event that happened kind of today, the models were all over the place. Even 24 hours out before the actual event occurrence, and they weren't showing a different storm. They were just kind of showing the different tracks the storm may take. And it ended up taking a more southern track than expected. So while that occurs, we get that blow through. That system kind of blows through. What we see is the remaining energy left behind this system, kind of this cold front across really northern Illinois, Indiana, shifts to the north and gets absorbed by this low pressure, which makes its way onto the western United States and Canada in a not a big fashion at all. This thing just explodes once it's off the mountains, and you can see right there congregating lots of precipitation, lots of snow, lots of rain, and yet again we have a very heavy band of snow possibly occurring across the Dakotas area, the Arrowhead, Minnesota. This is again not that far out, 126 hours into this Thursday. By the way, this first band will be occurring kind of late Tuesday, early Wednesday morning, and it depends where you live. It will initiate already early Tuesday. And, these things are less than 2 days apart. This is now Thursday afternoon. We could be looking at a lot of rain to the south, heavy snow to the north, and a very strong low pressure developing as a result. Potentially powerful winds on both sides, from the north and east, from the south and west. And what that does is obviously drop a lot of rain where it's raining, and a lot of snow where the cold air is present. You can see this evolves into a pretty nice system, to say the least. A lot of these locations in Canada will begin as snow and then transition into rain, but it's a very powerful storm. And if that wasn't enough, not at all. We see more precipitation on the way. But notice behind that system, we just see very cold air in place. And if I were to go to the anomaly and leave at hour 156 where the storm leaves us, I mean, look at all that cold air. Any precipitation you get mixing in with that will lead to very, very high chances of seeing snow. So this is around the time frame of next weekend, around a week from now. So a lot of things may change, but overall you could see pretty active. And then we start seeing according to the European, a unique storm. We see energy move into the panhandles of Texas, Oklahoma, and the eastern Four Corners area. Some heavy snow, probably a blizzard-like conditions, especially with the winds presented by this. And oftentimes, if you see snow in Texas, it's often accompanied by winds. Notice this could spread some snow into Illinois, Missouri. Definitely interesting. We'll have to see what it does with that. As it pushes itself further to the east, it encounters warmer air, so much of that snow transitions into rain. But, I mean, look at the abundance of precip. We get tropical activity, almost a pure hurricane remnants or tropical storm remnants. Right there, we have them. They mix in to this storm, and what that does is obviously lead to a pretty nasty potential system that could be just wrecking parts of the Northeast. Right there, look at that. I mean, that thing is very big. Lots of rain, lots of snow. Yes, this is very far out, but it just goes to show you that the models are definitely including these type of possibilities, and this is definitely a potential. The European isn't the only model showing this, and by the way, look at that. We have another system coming in from the northwest, which could behave in unknown ways. We'll have to see. This is how far it goes out. In terms of total snowfall for the European model, let's take a look. Some of these amounts will be a bit overdone, obviously. But, I mean, I wouldn't say this is necessarily that overdone across these locations. Over a foot across portions of Minnesota and North Dakota. The mountains seeing quite a bit, especially the eastern mountains, kind of Wyoming, Montana, Colorado, not necessarily, Utah, southwestern Idaho, Oregon. But you could see southeastern Canada also getting quite a bit of snow. Larger cities in Canada, Montreal, Ottawa, Toronto, they vary. I don't know the exact layout of them, but you could see that the snow gets pretty darn close, if not over your location. Several locations seeing 7-8 inches, so definitely something to bring notice to. And then the southwestern Canada just seeing quite a bit. In general, southern Canada as well, seeing quite a bit of snow, depending on where you live. Some as little as 1 to 2, some as much as 7 to 8. In terms of total accumulated precipitation, not just the snowfall, because what I just showed you was snow. Very active and lots of precipitation. Obviously, this includes the snow as well, but only areas that remain dry are really the southwest and the west, where they need it the most, and that's obviously typical. Where they need it the most, it's the least amount. So, I mean, you know, that's life, I guess. But hopefully we could get a more active pattern for you guys. But unfortunately, it doesn't seem to be the case as of right now. Let's take a look at the GFS model. This is, you know what the GFS is if you're on the weather or on this channel frequently enough. I use it to forecast. There we go. We have our two little systems that just occurred. That was the threat that I talked about a couple days ago. This is the renewed threat. The GFS by Tuesday doesn't really have, again, it does have that dry period of precip or lack of precip. It does have a bit more precipitation than the European floating around. You can see right there, it does a very similar thing with that system on Tuesday. Heavy snow possibly across the Twin Cities, southern Minnesota. I do apologize if you do hear stomping upstairs or anywhere. I do live with a family, so that is pretty much unavoidable, kind of the ambience of the house. But notice that we do see some pretty heavy snowfall rates at times. This shifts into the northeast and does a similar thing with what the European did. Kind of makes it into a pretty substantial storm system, a bit more stronger than the European. Then we see that in the second system that the European also agrees on with the GFS, at least agrees on in the terms of presence, that it will be there. The GFS does keep it quite a bit stronger. At the beginning at least, but then it kind of fades away into a weaker system as it moves into Canada. And obviously the cold air will be directed by these systems. So if you live south of these systems, it will be warmer air followed by colder air, kind of, you know, going back and forth like two fronts would. And there again, right here at around this time, the European showed snow around the panhandles. The GFS does a similar storm a bit further to the north, and it eventually does push the precipitation into the northeast. And this is at around next week time frame. We have a tropical storm remnant trying to maybe work its way into here. A lot of precipitation floating around, possibly seeing a more drier pattern into early November, and maybe a bit warmer. But the GFS does keep quite a bit of cool air during this whole snowstorm regime, which is why the snowstorm regime is possible in the first place, because of the abundance of cooler air. Now, if we were to take a glance at the Canadian model, the last model I want to show you, generally, I mean, you can see that one shows a lot of cold air. But in terms of precipitation, very similar things. We have the two systems pulling away. Shows a bit more precip into this midweek than the other models. But then it does include, you can see right there, that little system across the plains into Minnesota, Wisconsin this Tuesday. A bit less intense and further to the south, so interesting to see. It does form nothing out of this system itself, a little band of precip, but it does include a very strong second storm, which the European and GFS did agree on. So that's convenient, a lot of cold air behind that. And then we do see another storm with the Canadian just further to the north. Not a southern storm or a coastal storm, and I do apologize about that noise my phone made. Just got a notification. But that's basically it for today's video. Wanted to give you a quick rundown, which I just did, hopefully. And this is the snowfall from the Canadian. I showed you the European already. So Canadian also pretty bullish. A bit less across the southeastern Canadian areas and northeastern United States. GFS, the regular GFS, well, it hasn't loaded in for the newest model run. I guess I could show you the older model run. Again, definitely all models are showing more snow than typical for this time of the year, and with each one showing a bit of a different variation. GFS parallel, I didn't show you this one's precip forecast because I didn't have enough time. I want to keep these videos relatively shorter, though you could still see quite a good mention of snow. So that's basically it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching, and I will catch you all guys on the next episode. See ya.